The Cindy Davis Show starts now. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Cindy Davis Show. My guest today is the heartthrob of the spoken word, mesmerizing his audiences all over the world with his sultry style of words, woven together into a masterpiece of art. He has opened for John Legend, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott. He once stated that he didn't choose poetry, but poetry chose him. Please welcome my guest, none other than Se7en. Welcome to the show, Se7en.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, you are awesome. The first time I heard you think I was at Fountain of Praise Church.
Okay.
And I believe you did like a Jesus piece. I was blown away. I didn't know where you were going with it, but when the words all came together, it was a masterpiece. That is awesome.
Yeah, the Fountain of Praise, that's like a second home pastor, right? And big sister, First Lady Mia.
Yeah. Where did you get that? When did you discover you had a talent for words and poetry?
Well, I always played around with words when I was younger, with the rap thing. But my mother was like, "You're not gonna be a rapper. You're gonna have to go to school." So she said, "You can do whatever you want after you finish school." So since I was young, I had always played with words and loved the style of making them rhyme and putting a message together.
How did you play with the words?
Well, it was how clever could you put them? What could you come up with? What words could you use that no one had heard before? And how clever could you be with the rhyme pattern? That was the game to play.
Yeah, awesome. So what did you major in?
Social work, psychology, and then I returned and got my master's in counseling. I'm also a certified educator.
Wow. And so what made you go into poetry and spoken word?
I came home from college, and a friend of mine took me to an open mic, and he signed my name and didn't tell me. So they called me up, and me not wanting to look like a chicken or nothing,
Yeah.
I went ahead and went up and performed, and immediately after I finished, I exited the building, and a couple of the older poets stopped me on the sidewalk and said, "Hey, well, this might be something you might want to continue to do," and the rest is history.
Wow, and I'll say, how did you get your start though? That was how you got your start.
Yeah, that's the first
And that was
public
like the
open
first.
mic
Yeah.
that I had been on.
Right. When did spoken word become so popular?
There was a movie called Love Jones that
Remember Love Jones?
right. Lorenz Tate has come to the Poetry Lounge here since.
He did?
Yeah, since we've kept in contact. But with this popularity, I mean, even in history, we have the last poets, rest in peace, Gil Scott. But its popularity, especially with that movie Love Jones, that brought it to the forefront. And you had such artists like Music Soul Child and Jill Scott. There was a little phase of music called the Neo Soul era. And with those Neo Soul artists, it really boosted the popularity of poetry and brought it to the forefront.
I'll say because everybody is like doing it, but I've never heard it performed like you.
Oh, thank you.
What are you
I think
known
that's a
for?
compliment.
Yeah. What are you known for? You're known for exiting the stage, or what is that about?
Oh, well,
The way you exit the stage?
because when I'm done, I just walk. Or, now I say I have to say 7 to tag it and let them know my name, because not everyone knows who I am. And I guess, like, what I'm known for is the energy that I bring on stage. Because, with poetry, it's no bells and whistles. It's just you and the microphone. And sometimes some poets, we like to call beating on our chest, exercising our bravadas, when we just stand in a room with no microphone and still are able to project and capture the crowd.
Awesome. Where did you get your name, Se7en?
In college.
In college?
In college, I was a part of an organization, and it was my number, and I pledged as a freshman, which is illegal. But after I came out on the campus, it was all that the campus knew to call me, so they started calling me Seven. And my friends were like, "I'm not calling you that." But it stuck, and here we are, a couple years later, and I'm still Seven.
How long ago was that?
I'm not telling.
No. Okay. Well, okay. So you're from Houston.
Yes, I am.
What
Born
side
and
of
raised.
town?
Houston, Texas. Sunny side. South side of the building.
Sunny side in the house?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now don't with the ma'am stuff.
Oh, it's out of respect, love.
Oh, okay. I can accept that. Your mom was a background singer for Teddy Pendergrass.
Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about that.
Well,
Do you think that kind of planted the seed for you to go?
oh, by all means, my
National?
family, my entire family is musically inclined. From
Wow.
instruments, I play a few instruments, and I remember my mother being on tour and coming home. I've met Teddy Pendergrass. I almost called him Teddy, like first name basis. But I've met Shaka Khan and all of these great artists, Patti LaBelle, because my mother worked with them. I remember she would come home on tour and send limos to the house to pick up my grandmother. My grandmother would refuse. "I don't need that mess." So she wouldn't even go to the concerts. But even after she came home and she wasn't performing anymore, she still participated in the local talent competitions and things like that. And after my uncle got of age to get in the club, he became a vocalist too. So I remember every weekend them getting dressed and getting prepared to go out and entertain.
Well, that must have been awesome for you.
Yeah,
That definitely, I would say, planted the seed.
Definitely, most definitely.
When you are talented. But you were raised by your grandmother. Oh, okay, okay. She raised you, and did you have any siblings?
I do, but we weren't raised
You
in
were
the
raised
same
together.
home.
Oh, okay.
But you know how it is. Big Mama's house
Big Mama house.
is the
The
house, because Big Mama is the rock of the family
Exactly.
in most cases. So it was always a host of family and friends coming through. A lot of I had a lot of cousins and a plethora of extended family, that were always around me. So I guess you can say I did have a lot of brothers and sisters, especially from the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, I can understand that. Tell me about what is your favorite piece? What is your favorite Seven piece?
I just wrote it last night, and I don't have a title for it.
How did you come up with the titles of your poetry?
I usually let the crowd give it a name. The audience will give it a name. After you perform a piece so many times, people will start to request that piece by what's most familiar with them. Oh, say that Jesus piece. Oh, say that beautiful poem. And so the poem right there, that gives it the name. I know that's how people will identify it.
Wow.
So
Really? That's how you give it the titles?
that's how I give it the
That's
titles.
awesome. That's awesome. Because most people don't name records or poetry in that way. They usually kind of name it according to how they feel, or how it makes them feel.
I mean, I have a couple that have titles. Stand Up is a poem that has a title that was specifically written for Pastor Terrence, Pastor J over at Higher D. I have another piece entitled I Must Be Fly and I'll Do Me. It's kind of simple how they got their titles, but for the most part, what I like to do is let the audience give it a name.
And so, how do you put these masterpieces together? How do you? Do they come to you in the night? Are you inspired by what you see on current events, or?
All of that. Some will come to me in the middle of the night in my sleep, and I'll, have to get up and write. Right, because if I get it in the morning, you're gonna forget. If you get the notion, get up, write it down. But for the most part, I will wait for inspiration to hit. And it's funny how inspiration comes, because you never know, you know, and it just takes that one thing to move you, and the rest is history.
Wow, I'll say. And so, what's it like when you are entertaining, when you're on the stage? What's that like for you?
I'm very comfortable on stage. I was telling a friend of mine the other day that I had no stage fright by default.
No stage fright? Wow.
That's because I was on stage early on, performing with the band in junior high and high school, and I also used to dance a lot. But I needed glasses, but no one knew. So I've always felt like I was the only one in the auditorium because I couldn't see anybody. But
Wow.
so you know, it worked out for the better. Taking lemons and making lemonade. You know.
There you go. There you go. Or take cornmeal and make cornbread.
Just from the South, ain't you? Yeah.
Yes, yes, I am. I'm from Houston. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, Se7en is going to perform one of his masterpieces. Stay tuned.
Now, tennis is sized just right for kids.
Now it's easier than ever to play an hour a day, every day. There's so many fun things that each of us can do to be healthier. And with all the changes going on in tennis, that's an even better way for kids to get active and have fun. That's a big part of what we're doing with Let's Move, America's campaign to raise a healthier generation of kids. We want to help our kids eat better and exercise more, so come on, let's get moving.
It's easy to say we need to eat healthy and exercise more. It's just as easy to say we'll start tomorrow. But our kids are running out of time. They're the first generation that might not live as long as their parents because of the health risks associated with being overweight. What can we do to help? Be the example they need. Make healthy choices and help them do the same. Let's move to raise a healthier generation of kids.
You can be my next guest on The Cindy Davis Show. You can email me at cindy@thecindydavisshow.com. And we're back with the very talented Se7en, spoken word poet. You once said that, you once quoted that poetry didn't find you, but you didn't find poetry, but poetry chose you.
Right. I didn't choose
Did I
poetry,
quote it
but
right?
Poetry. I didn't choose poetry. Poetry chose me.
Okay. So what do you mean by that?
I never grew up saying, when I grow up, I want to be a spoken word artist. I never even knew spoken word existed like that. That it could be a profession. Many people still don't think that it is. In fact, I was in New Orleans for Essence Festival a few weeks ago, and I was in a restaurant, and this young lady approached me. She was talking to me. Her friend was there, and so the gentleman says to me, "Well, what is it that you do?" I say, "I'm a spoken word artist." And he says, "Oh no, baby, he doesn't make enough money, so we're gonna move on." It's, you know, yeah, but I had no idea that you know, I would one day be a professional poet, that I would be touring and traveling the world based on my art, especially not poetry.
Especially not poetry.
No.
So if you wasn't doing poetry, what do you think you would be doing?
Well, I like to tell people that, you know, my life is a dream come true. I would be, if outside of poetry, I'd probably be doing exactly what I do in the day. I'm a high school counselor at Westfield High School in Spring. As I told you earlier, I'm a certified educator. This is my 11th year in education.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that you were actively teaching.
When I came off tour with Brian McKnight, there was nothing for me to do. I realized that, you know, there was more to life than just eating out every day and going to the mall. There was no one to socialize with because my friends had jobs and careers. So I was just at home doing nothing. And I felt like, okay, well, you've invested all this time into your education. Why wouldn't you use it? You can't be upset about having those credentials and not using them. Right. So unless you decide to use them. So that's what I decided to do. So I went back into education, and I love it.
Wow.
So.
Well, awesome. What do you teach?
Well, I don't teach anymore. Now I'm a counselor.
Oh, you're just counseling. Okay.
Right, but when I did teach, it was special ed.
Special ed. Oh, awesome.
Generic special ed, so I could teach all grade levels up and down the gambit.
Now, earlier you said that you played instruments, and what instruments were they?
I started out at Addix Middle School on trumpet. I moved from trumpet to baritone. I dabbled a little with the trombone, so it's mostly brass. But when I got to Prairie View, the musicianship was so grand. I couldn't follow some of the music on the stands. So Prof. Edwards put me on tuba, and I was 135 pounds with
a big old tuba.
With a big old tuba, doing the best I could. But, you know, we made it work. They taught me well, and so that's what I marched at Prairie View.
Wow. Wow. So you're Prairie View.
Yes,
went to Prairie View.
Proud. Prairie View produces productive people. Shouts out to TSU. No hate.
Well, okay, I heard that. On that note, we're going to come back. When we come back, we're going to talk more to Se7en right after this. Stay tuned.
It's easy to say we need to eat healthy and exercise more. It's just as easy to say we'll start tomorrow. But our kids are running out of time. They're the first generation that might not live as long as their parents because of the health risks associated with being overweight. What can we do to help? Be the example they need. Make healthy choices and help them do the same. Let's move to raise a healthier generation of kids.
Now, tennis is sized just right for kids.
Now it's easier than ever to play an hour a day, every day. There's so many fun things that each of us can do to be healthier. And with all the changes going on in tennis, that's an even better way for kids to get active and have fun. That's a big part of what we're doing with Let's Move, America's campaign to raise a healthier generation of kids. We want to help our kids eat better and exercise more, so come on, let's get moving.
You can be my next guest on The Cindy Davis Show. You can email me at cindy@thecindydavisshow.com. And welcome back to the show, and Se7en is going to perform Old School Mama and the Jesus Piece. Give it up for Se7en.
She don't tolerate no back talk or chatter. In fact, that's one of the quickest ways to get you smacked backwards. In fact, she's got one of the quickest hands on the planet. She won't blink or hesitate, and she wears that house coat like a cape. We call her Mama, the superhero, always there to save the day. Hit Mama on her hotline and help is on the way. Faster than a speeding bullet, Daddy can say what he wanna say, but when he show up, he trying to be cool. When Mama show up, she don't play. Say, Mama ain't gotta say something about nothing when something is wrong and you're trying to conceal it. But Mama ain't gotta say something about nothing when something is wrong, cause Mama can feel it. When it's trouble in your way, you're on her heart all day. Mama wait for everybody to go to sleep, walk the floor all night and pray. And when she can't handle it alone, she get Big Mama on the phone. See, Mama knows how to pray, but Big Mama knows how to moan. Nana knows how to moan. Madea knows how to moan. Pray for you to have a safe trip and then pray till you get back home. And then she'll say, let me look at you. Make sure y'all right. Did you eat something? Where you been? Told me a long time ago you ain't got no friends. I'm your friend. I'm your mama. Your doctor when you're sick. Your lawyer when you need. Gonna be down with you when the people that say that they down with you decide to leave. See, mama got agape love. No prizes, no awards. But if you need proof, she's got the scars. I'm talking about mama. Quick to console, quick to give, quick to listen. But get out of line, she quick to discipline. Mama. Not like these new school mamas that don't say anything when the kid is acting wild. One of them old school mamas, spout a rise, spoil a child. Think you grown, mumble under your breath and say the wrong thing. She come across your face and put your bottom lip on your shoestrings. Mama. Not like these new school mamas that act like the authorities are a threat. But one of them old school mamas that'll give the child a number to CPS. See, new school mamas won't hit you anywhere but on your behind. Old school mamas that hit you anywhere with anything she can find. You might think that I'm exaggerating or embellishing the facts. Old school mamas would have never let us wear our pants hanging down like that. But new school mamas' boyfriends dress like children, and I guess they think it's cool. Thank God mama was from the old school. 7, old school mama.
It's easy to say we need to eat healthy and exercise more. It's just as easy to say we'll start tomorrow. But our kids are running out of time. They're the first generation that might not live as long as their parents because of the health risks associated with being overweight. What can we do to help? Be the example they need. Make healthy choices and help them do the same. Let's move to raise a healthier generation of kids.
Now, tennis is sized just right for kids.
Now it's easier than ever to play an hour a day, every day. There's so many fun things that each of us can do to be healthier. And with all the changes going on in tennis, that's an even better way for kids to get active and have fun. That's a big part of what we're doing with Let's Move, America's campaign to raise a healthier generation of kids. We want to help our kids eat better and exercise more, so come on, let's get moving.
My father sent me here through a virgin's womb. An intimate project of the master architect, by his hands I was personally groomed. On the night of my birth, 3 kings brought gifts to my home, and the brightest star in the sky is known as my birthstone. I was born to be great. Bright future, dark fate. I am the light of the world, I am love, but the dark hearts of men harbor hate. And the church and state sent their soldiers to come get me, betrayed by the same people sitting at the table with me, haters. You know what they say, they come a dime a dozen. Yeah, it's a real popular picture of me out there having dinner with a dozen of them. I love Peter like a play cousin, and I told Peter that night, Peter, you would deny me before the cock crows thrice. Well, the next thing I know, that chicken must have crowed. Roman soldiers over my shoulder, let's get this show on the road. One disciple jumped up and cut a soldier's ear off, down to the wax. One more miracle before I leave, let me put this man's ear back. Now they got my hands tied up, suppressed and subdued. And I'm thinking to myself, man, how rude this dude. I'm the same one that fed 5,000 a multitude. 2 fish, 5 loaves. I'm the original Hove. And I don't need Dom Perignon, Cristal, or Moet to shine. My daddy makes it rain. I turn the water into wine. And you stand here with your soldiers with ill intent. I could call on 12 legions of angels to deliver me from this nonsense. But yet, not my will, but yes, God, your will. And on that note, let his will be fulfilled. Let these men go. I'm the one you want to kill. Could have stopped you with one of my one-liners like, peace be still, but I'm the Prince of Peace. And I'll be the Prince of Peace forevermore. This is my walk. This is what I came here for. Even though Satan couldn't get me with temptation, I passed all of his tests. I am not enslaved by the limitations of the flesh. A fisher of men. Tell the fishermen to cast their nets. The deeper the water gets, the deeper the odds. The deeper your relationship with God, and my relationship is deep. Deep is my faith, which is deeper than your hate. Deeper than any crown of thorns can penetrate. And if you need an example of deep here, I'll demonstrate. demonstrate. I walked on water, withered the fig tree, told the mountain, be taken up and cast into the sea. I can calm the storm. Nothing's impossible when I pray. I command the wind and the waters, and even they obey. Another day at the office, God's business, and I take the family business serious. On my off days, I cast out demons and unclean spirits. I am the great I am, the Lamb of God, bright and morning star in the midst of madness, wonderful counselor, divine advocate. Go and ask Lazarus. I am the resurrection, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the one they crucify. But he who lives and believes in me will never die. That's God's promise. I am the guarantor. This is my walk. This is what I came here for. So continue with your sticks and stones. Continue with your lashes. We triumph. We overcome. We arise from the ashes. I heal the deaf. I heal the sick. I heal the mute. I heal blindness. Killing me with your hate, I'll kill you with kindness. You're looking at heaven's finest. Emmanuel, the rock, the Alpha and Omega. This is why I'm hot. And I carry my cross to Calvary for the world and its sins. Tell Mary not to weep. This is not how the story ends. Tell Mary not to weep. Tell Martha not to moan. In 3 days, roll back the stone. I'm gone. Thank you.
And Se7en, that was a powerful performance.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where does all that power come from?
I don't know. I could have said some point. Oh, within. I don't know. It just comes out, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, we really enjoyed that. Didn't you
ball.
enjoy that, audience? That was awesome. Wow. Old school Mama and the Jesus piece.
That was, it seemed to be the crowd favorites. Of course, you know, the Jesus piece for obvious reasons, and Mama, the old school Mama piece for obvious reasons as well. You know.
Yeah, I love the old school Mama for real.
Yeah, I caught you a couple times. That's a corner of my eye. You know, you were
Yeah,
amen.
because I'm definitely an old school Mama.
Okay.
So where are you gonna be?
We do shows at Poetry Lounge at Bamboo,
Oh, okay.
2540 University. Every Sunday, 6 o'clock. It's a grown and mature ambiance. So, you know, we like to say it's the mature thing to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. And if you would like to book Se7en, you won't be disappointed. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. God bless you. And God bless you. Thank you for tuning in to the Cindy Davis Show. God bless you until next time.